Hi, this is Allison Suchernick and Emmy Good, and we are very excited to present to you our research and findings on orthographic mapping and supporting word learning in all learners. So what are we doing in this presentation? This is a little roadmap for you. The first part is going to be an introduction. We're going to tell you what exactly orthographic mapping is. The second part, we're going to talk about the critical skills that students need in order to build that orthographic mapping. We're going to give you some tools to take home, some best practices that you can implement into your classroom, and then we're going to leave you with our top 3 takeaways. So what is orthographic mapping? It is a process that readers use to store written words for immediate retrieval through connecting phonemes, sounds to their corresponding letters. So think about this for a moment. A typical student who enters 3rd grade can read between 3,000 to 8,000 words. So what if educators only taught 10 words a week? With only 38 weeks of school, this would lead to our students learning only about 380 words in a school year. So this is really why it's so important to support students through orthographic mapping. It's supporting students' storage of words, and it allows them to effortlessly read and enables them to quickly map new words without that direct instruction.
So, what do students need in order to do this orthographic mapping skill? What I want you to do is go ahead and take a moment and pause the video. Jot down or even just think of a few things you think a student needs. When you're ready, just press play again. Okay, I'm sure you could list a whole bunch of skills students might need. These are the 3 critical skills that students need in order to gain orthographic mapping skills. First, they need letter sound knowledge. They need to know P is P. Otherwise, it's just going to be a scribble on a page. The second thing they need is phonological awareness. If we take a look at this umbrella on the page, then we can see phonological awareness includes skills such as rhyming, syllable work, but it also includes things under phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness can be things such as basic skills such as segmenting, isolating, and blending. But it is important to note that in order to build orthographic mapping, students need more advanced phonemic awareness, such as being able to delete, add, and substitute phonemes. If they're able to do this, that is critical for the orthographic mapping. Now, letter sound knowledge and phonological awareness both play into long-term memory. If a student is not able to recognize a word between 1 to 2 seconds from exposure, then it's not a sight word yet, and it's not quite orthographically mapped.
So we're going to take a deep dive into 2 evidence-based strategies to support orthographic mapping. The first is through a speech-to-print approach, and the second is through incorporating a phonemic awareness daily routine into your classroom.
So we're going to start looking at this phonemic awareness routine first. We noted earlier that phonemic awareness in the advanced stage is what is truly needed to build orthographic mapping skills. But we don't start with the advanced skills. We start with the basic phonemic awareness skills and move to the advanced, more advanced skills. For this phonemic awareness routine, my class calls them our daily word games. They take 5 to 8 minutes a day. You do not need any materials because they are just word games. You can find examples of phonemic awareness routines on teacher websites, such as Teachers Pay Teachers. The one you see me using on my lesson here, I got it off a website and we just do it every single day. So let's take a look at this strategy in action with a 1st grade classroom who's been doing this routine since August.
Then I'm going to tell you what sound to leave out. Ready? Say 40.
40.
Don't say
40.
Good. Say yarn.
Yarn.
Don't say y.
Arm.
Say turtle.
Turtle.
Don't say t.
Turtle.
Say sort.
Sort.
Don't say s.
Oink.
Say horn.
Horn.
Don't say h.
Horn.
Say dirt.
Dirt.
Don't say d. Good. Say letter. Don't say ooh. Good. Now I'm going to give you 3 words. You have to find me which one does not belong. Got it? Say fail. Snail. Deal. Which one does not belong? Luke? Deal, because fail and snail rhyme. Ready? Feed. Paid.
Right. So in this example, this is just a snapshot of the whole routine. The first word game, we are looking at how students just delete the beginning sound and are left with the rhyme then. The second game starts to get into rhyming. So they were looking for the rhyming words, but I chose to figure out which one was not belong, just to give my classes a thinking class and to give us a little bit more of a challenge. These routines, once you start them, are very engaging, easy to implement, and make a huge impact in supporting the development of orthographic mapping. So I highly encourage you to add this to your daily routine because it makes such a big difference.
Then I'm going to tell you what soundly about. Ready?
So what is the speech to print approach? This approach is different than some other phonics approaches because the teacher gives the word orally. So this is really supporting students in their orthographic mapping because the student gets the word orally, they hear it, they say the word, and then they write the word based on the sounds that they know. The teacher then shows them the correct spelling, and the students can compare their spelling and then rewrite. So in short, you can think, hear it, the students are hearing it, say it, the students are saying the word, and then spell it. The students are using what they know to spell the word. So that's circling back to that speech to print approach. This incorporates phonological awareness, decoding, encoding, and that visual word recognition. So we are going to try out the speech to print approach with a word. So I invite you to go get a piece of paper and something to write with. If you need to get up and go get those things, then you can just pause the video and play when you are ready. So when you're ready, go ahead and write. We're going to write the word change. So say the word, and we're going to count the sounds in the word. Ch, a, n, ch. There are 4 sounds in the word change. So on my paper, I would make 4 sound lines. So your paper should look something like mine. So now I want you to use what you know to write the word change. And when you're finished writing the word, you can go ahead and take a look at my spelling of the word. You can compare your spelling with mine and then rewrite the word below as you normally would. So we're going to take a look at some students in a 1st grade classroom who used this speech to print approach to write the word change. And we're going to take a look at some of the things that they did.
So here are examples of how these 3 students who are at different stages of development wrote the word change. Our very first student, who is still working on a lot of her letter and sound correspondences, especially when it comes to digraphs, wrote change using a TH and left off that E, which is making the G say J. In this case, when she looked at my board, she took her dry erase marker and she erased her TH and made it a CH in order to match my board and added the E. In the middle example, we see about an on grade level 1st grade student writing the word change. And what you can't see is she was writing her G, but she left off the E. So you can see how in different stages, they might look almost the same, but there might be little differences. Our last board is from an advanced reader and speller who just wrote the word change because he's already mapped it in his head. This strategy is so easy to use and it really makes a difference. And students become little word detectives, looking and exploring the words, what sound says what, and putting it together. If you would like to see this strategy in action in a 3rd grade classroom setting, feel free to scan our QR code and watch the video now or even later to see how this strategy can work for you.
There are several other ways to enhance the speech to print approach. The first is using Elkonin boxes. So in this example on the right, this is probably for a lower elementary student where they were given a picture. And so they see that they're writing the word pig. So they would sound out the word pig, and then they would write the corresponding letters in the box. As students get older, you can scaffold by removing that picture, giving the kids the words orally, and extending the boxes for longer words. You can use sound chips or really any kind of manipulatives. Sound lines like we used in our example. If you don't have any sort of manipulatives, students can always use finger tapping. And then a little bit more engaging, you can purchase something like a magnetic wand, which is shown over on our slide, where the kids actually get to pick up magnetic chips with the wand to represent each sound.
So we've given a lot of information today. So what are the top 3 things we wish for you to take away from our presentation today? First, orthographic mapping is a critical skill in building word reading. We cannot teach students all the words that they're going to need. Typically, developing readers are going to naturally start building this orthographic mapping, but that's not all the kids in our classroom. So we need to be able to support all of our readers, no matter what stage of development they are in. In order to be supported, use the orthographic mapping skill, they're going to need to use phonemic awareness, letter sound knowledge, and long-term memory. If we have a struggling student, we can be able and look to see, are they struggling with just letter sound knowledge? Are they struggling with deleting and substituting phoneme? And that's where we can help build up their skills to support this wonderful skill. Now, we hope that you enjoyed these tools that we showed you in our classroom. These research-based strategies of the phonemic awareness routine and the speech to print approach through the Hear It, Say It, Spell It, or even Elkonin boxes are super easy to start using in a classroom. They don't even need a lot of materials, and they make a huge difference in supporting these students. And I really hope that I encourage you to take one or both and give them a try. These are our references that guided our presentation today, if you are interested in checking out where a lot of our thoughts and ideas came from. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments about our presentation, our research, or just want to talk more about orthographic mapping, feel free to contact us using the emails on your screen. We really appreciate you joining us. Thank you.